experience we all experience at least once in a lifetime. Whether it's stress over finances, work-related stress, stress to achieve life goals, stress in your home life, or even in relationships, we all experience it in one way or another. Stress can cause numerous physiological responses, one major one being insomnia. According to the NHS, insomnia is categorised by these following symptoms. Insomnia is when an individual finds it difficult to sleep, wake up several times, lie awake at night for long periods of time, not feeling refreshed when you get up, feeling irritable and tired during the day and have difficulty concentrating, and also find it hard to nap during the day despite feeling tired. All these factors have a serious effect on how an individual carries out daily tasks, whether that be making dinner for their family or writing a vital report for work. Typically, adults are recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, but what's so important about sleep? According to many biopsychologists, sleep is essential to remain physically, emotionally and psychologically healthy. Rapid eye movement sleep, also known as REM, usually occurs 90 minutes after you fall asleep. This is where intense dreams occur as your brain is most active. REM sleep is good for you because it stimulates the brain regions used in learning, which is important for normal brain development, especially in infancy. Some studies suggest that REM sleep deprivation affects the immune system in detrimental ways. Many studies have found significant results suggesting stress and sleep deprivation can cause many health problems. These include epilepsy, more frequent stroke and asthma attacks, weak immune system, confusion, frustration, and depression. As well as this, sleep deprivation can cause effects to appearance, which can lead an individual to feel self-conscious and even more stressed. However, not everyone will be affected by this stress the same way. Individual differences play a major role in how we deal with events. So how do we cope with the stress? According to experts Lazarus and Folkman, we can avoid this health problem if we understand how we as individuals cope with stress. According to the transactional model of stress, when a person is faced with a stressor, that person evaluates the amount of threats. If upon appraisal it is decided that the stressor is irrelevant or positive, no stress is activated. However, if the stress is perceived as relevant, the stress response is activated. And a coping response occurs, which is followed by the secondary appraisal stage. This is where a person evaluates if they can control the stress and what coping resources they can use. If they think they can cope with the situation, it will lead to a positive stress, like excelling in a race. If it's perceived that they can't cope, it will lead to negative stress, such as insomnia. There are two main types of coping methods: problem-focused and emotion-focused. Problem-focused is when an individual thinks they have control by making plans and actions. Emotion-focused is when an individual turns to negative behaviours to cope with the stress. During any point of this evaluation, a person may reappraise their current event and consider whether the event is more or less stressful than they first perceived. They can then go on to evaluate whether their coping strategies work or not. Negative coping strategies include avoiding the problem, turning to stress-calming behaviours such as smoking and alcohol, and even drugs. Here are some positive ways you can deal with your sleeping problem. First of all, set a schedule. Exercise. Avoid caffeine, nicotine and alcohol. Relax before bed. Try and sleep until sunlight. Avoid lying in bed awake. Control your room temperature. And most importantly, see your GP.